Hey everyone, welcome to the stream here. Today we're going to talk about 7th chords, 6th chords and 7th chords actually. Oh, I look tired. That's okay. The material today I think is really foundational. So if you're wanting to kind of break through to that intermediate level, this is a really important topic. So we're going to cover chords like this. I'll show you here just to play a little bit. So these are commonly referred to as like drop 2 voicings or drop 3 voicings, and all that means is I won't get into a big discussion, but basically drop 2s are found on the 4 strings. If you ignore the low E and the high E, and you just play those, you get drop 2. And then drop 3s, you play the 6th string, skip the 5th, and then play 4, 3, 2. Those kind of chords. So we're going to go through all the great foundational voicings for that. So the first one here on the screen is it's labeled root on 5th. So that means that the root is on the 5th string. It also happens to be on the 5th fret. And we're going to take a major triad. So we've got the root, the 5th, and the major 3rd. And we're going to add either a 6th or a 7th to it to create these different chords. So the diagram here, the notes that are in black, those are notes that are going to stay the same the entire time. And the pink notes are going to move. So we're only going to change one note on the G string every time. So we're going to work our way from the bottom to the top. So let's start with just a regular old D major chord. So we're going to put our first finger on D. This is first finger on string number 5, fret number 5. And then we're going to bar with our pinky or our 3rd finger on fret number 7 to get the 5th, the root, and the 3rd. I prefer to use my pinky. And that gives us a regular D major chord because we've got only root 3 and 5. So now let's take this D right here, the root of the chord, and we're going to lower it 1 fret to C sharp. So this is going to give us a new chord. So what we've done is we've taken a D triad and we've added what's called the major 7th, which is the note a half step below the root. So from D down to D7, D major 7. The way you play that is first finger on D. This is string 5, fret 5. 3rd finger on A, the 5th of the chord, string 4, fret number 7. 2nd finger on C sharp. This is string 3, fret 6, and your pinky on string 2, fret 7. That's the note F sharp. Now let's lower the C sharp down to C natural. This gives us the flat 7. So now we're going to play root, 5th, flat 7, major 3rd. Now this chord is called D7 because it has a lowered 7th. The lowered 7th is also known as the dominant 7. So you might hear someone say, I'll play the dominant 7th on that chord. So to play this, we're going to have first finger on D, string 5, fret 5, third finger on A, string 4, fret 7, and then with a bar, we're going to play the note C. This is on string 3, fret number 1, and then with your pinky on F sharp again on string 2, fret number 7. So you can see we went from D major 7 to D7. And so we're just changing one note every time. So let's move it down one more half step. So take C natural and lower it by a half step down to B. So now B is the 6th of the chord, the major 6th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And so again, we're going to keep those other 3 notes the same. And we're going to fit this D in there. This is a little bit more difficult to play, but it's played like this. Even if you can't play it right away, just seeing it is good, knowing it's there. So to play it, second finger on D, on string 5, fret number 5, third finger on the note A, string 4, fret 7, first finger on B, this is string 3, fret 4, and your pinky on F sharp, string 2, fret 7. Now I find it helpful to really kind of flatten my hand out to get this chord to sound right. If you try and do it on the tips of your fingers, it's very difficult. But if you kind of collapse your hand, it's a little bit easier. So this is D6 because it has the root, the 3rd, the 5th, and the 6th. So that gives us 4 chords from this one kind of shape or concept. You've got D major, D major 7, lower the 7th to the flat 7, D7, and then lower it again, and you have D6. So with all these slides that I'm going to show you, it's a great exercise to just see if you can be able to play through them and come back up. And so once you have a grasp on this, all these are movable. And you want to kind of play through the scale with them. So if we have a D major scale, the first chord would be D major 7. The second chord is, oh, we haven't got to the minors yet. Hang on, we'll get there. Okay. All right, so let's move on here. All right. Here we go. So now we're going to do the same thing, but now we're going to use a minor triad as our home base. So whereas before we had the root, the 5th, and the 3rd, now we're going to have the root, the 5th, and the flat 3rd. So we're going to take F sharp and lower it down to F natural on the 6th fret of string number 2. So those 3 notes will stay the same. And we'll do the same thing, moving that one voice up and down to create different sounds. So to begin, first finger on the note D, this is string 5, fret 5. Third finger on A, string 4, fret 7. Pinky on string 3, fret 7, that's the root also. And your second finger on the note F, which is on string 2, fret number 6. And that gives you a D minor chord. Now, let's take this root right here, found on the third string, and we're going to lower it by a half step, which is the major seventh. So we're going to keep everything else the same and add the major seventh. So it's going to sound like this. This is called D minor major 7 because it has the major 7. So the way to play that is first finger on D, string 5, fret 5, pinky on A, string 4, fret 7, second finger on C sharp, string 3, fret 6, and your third finger on F, string 2, fret 6. There we go. So here's D minor major 7. Now let's keep going. We'll take that C sharp, we'll lower it by a half step. So now it's on C natural, and this will give us D minor 7. So it's a D minor chord, a D minor triad with the flat 7 or the dominant 7 added. To play this, you're going to want to use a bar with your first finger. So again, these 3 notes stay the same. And then just use your bar to play that C. So it's first finger on D, string 5, fret 5. Third finger on A, string 4, fret 7. With the bar, first finger on C, string 3, fret 5. And then second finger on F, string 2, fret 6. So we went from D minor major 7, D minor 7, and then finally we're going to lower C to B. I'll get it in the shot there. This is the 6th. This is the major 6 on top of a minor triad. So you've got D minor with a 6. You get this really pretty sound. The way you play that is, this is also a little tricky one, but second finger on D, string 5, fret 5, fourth finger on A, string 4, fret 7, first finger on B, string 3, fret 4, and then third finger on F, string 2, fret 6. Oops. That's it. So now you can move through those chords. D minor, lower the 7th, lower it to the 7th, D minor major 7, lower it again, get D minor 7, lower it again, D minor 6. So I wanted to mention one thing. Sometimes people get confused on the saying D minor 6. The minor always refers to the triad type. So the 6th is always a major 6th. So if you see any kind of D6 or D minor 6, the 6th is always a major 6 coming from the major scale, but the triad is either major or minor. So if it's D6, it's a major triad plus a major 6th. If it's a minor 6th chord, it's a minor triad plus a major 6th. That's the only difference. So again, just play through, oops. All these, and so really start to see that these 3 notes never change. It's only that one string that's moving. And then do it with the majors. And then you can start moving it through the scale. So you've got the 1 chord, major 7. The 2 chord is a minor 7. So just go up to there's E and play your minor 7 shape. The 3 is also minor 7. The 4 is major 7. The 5 is dominant 7. A7. The 6 is minor 7. Walk down. The 7th, we didn't talk about this yet, but I'll cover it just real quickly here. If you have go down to the 7th, which is C sharp, the chord that comes from the major scale there is it's called a half diminished chord, or a minor 7 flat 5 chord. Basically, all it is you take minor 7 shape and you lower the 5th. So I don't have a diagram for that at the moment, but if you wanted to try and work your way through the scale, that's what you would do. Oops. All right, let's move on. We're going to do chords with the root on the 6th string now. There we go. All right, root on the 6th string. So we're going to do these all with A chords. So first finger on the 6th string on fret number 5. That's going to be where our root is. Notice we're never going to play anything on the A string. We're going to skip that string, and we're not going to play anything on the high E string. So we've got, and we're going to do the exact same thing, and it's going to give us the same types of chords, but just a different way of playing them. So we've got A. So we're going to put first finger on string 6, fret 5. We're going to skip the A string, put our third finger also on A on string 4, fret 7. Second finger on C sharp. This is on string 3, fret 6. And then first finger with a bar on the 5th of the chord, the note E, string 2, fret 5. Now we can do the same thing. So the voice that's moving is now on string 4. And everything else stays the same. So we're going to go through, I'm sorry. So let's walk through it. So the first chord, A major. Now let's lower the root to the 7th. And this is going to give you A major 7. To play this, put your first finger on fret number 5, third finger on the 4th string, fret number 6, pinky on fret number 6, string number 3, and then your second finger on fret number 5, string 2. This gives you A major 7 because you have a major triad with the major 7th, which is a half step below the root. Now let's take the 7th. We're going to lower it to G natural. And this is going to give us A7. So now we have a major triad plus a dominant 7. To play that, you're going to have first finger on string 6, fret 5, second finger on string 4, fret 5, pinky on C sharp, string 3, fret 6, and then your third finger on string 2, fret 5. All right, let's move it down one more time. So from G down to F sharp, which is the 6th of the chord. So now we have a major triad plus a 6. Gives us A6. It sounds like this. To play this, second finger goes on string 6, fret 5. First finger goes on string 4, fret 4. Then with your fourth finger on C sharp, string 3, fret 6. And with your third finger on string 2, fret 5, the note E. So if we play all of them in a row, we have A major 7, A7, and A6. Back up to A7, A major 7, and A. Nice. All right, let's move on. The next one is the minor versions. So now we do the exact same thing, but we're going to change the third C sharp down to C natural. So now we have this minor chord. So the first chord, so if you look at the diagram, we're going to start from the bottom and go up like we've been doing. We're going to play A, those are both roots, then C natural, and E. And so you're going to play this with a bar across the 5th fret. First finger on A, string 6, fret 5, first finger. Then with your third finger on string 4, fret 7, also the root. Then bar on string 3, fret 5 to play C. And then with the same bar, you're going to play string 2, fret 5, the note E. And that's just an A minor chord. So let's take this root and lower it to the major 7th, and that gives us A minor 7. Sorry, A minor, major 7. This is a minor triad plus a major 7th. All right, let's take, the fingering for that is just the same, except you use your second finger to play fret 6 here. So first finger across fret number 5 for the bar, root, first finger on 6th string, fret number 5, second finger on string 4, fret 6, and then your first finger for the last two notes on string 3 and 2. All right, let's play minor 7 now. So take that major 7 and lower it a half step. So now you're on G natural. So now we have everything on the same fret. So you've got root, flat 7, flat 3, and 5. Everything on the same root. So you could play it with a bar like this. I don't recommend that because if you're playing with a pick or you're strumming, you're going to get unwanted notes. So if you're doing finger style, you can just pluck those strings and it's fine. A very common way to play this chord though is with your second finger on the note A on the 6th string, and then use a bar on the other 3 notes. So basically you take a bar across string 4, 3, 2 with your third finger, and then add your second finger to string number 6. And so the A string is naturally muted, and so is the high E string. So A minor major 7, A minor 7, and if we go one more, there's F sharp. This is the 6th. So now we're going to take our A minor 7, lower that note, and we get A minor 6th. To play this, second finger on A, string 6, fret 5. First finger on F sharp, string 4, fret 4. And then third finger on C, string 3, fret 5. And fourth finger, string 2, fret 5. Beautiful chord, A minor 6. So again, it's the minor refers to the triad. The 6th is still a major 6. So this gives us A minor major 7, A minor 7, A minor 6. This is a really common progression. Sometimes you'll hear people call it a line cliche. Probably the most famous one is that, Stairway to Heaven. Sorry. So you have that descending line happening. And Brazilian music is also very common. All right, so I think that's kind of it. So basically, you've got these two diagrams. So we'll actually 4 diagrams for chords with the root on the 6th or the root on the 5th. And these shapes are really, really, really helpful, and they're really the foundation for anything more complex. So the same thing, you can take these shapes and move it through the major scale. So since we did A, let's continue on A. So in A major, the first chord is A major 7. Then the second chord is minor 7. So you go up to B, which is the second note of the scale, and play your minor 7 shape. The third chord is minor 7. The fourth chord, major 7. The fifth chord, dominant 7. Sixth chord, minor 7. And back down. And again, I didn't go over the half diminished chord, the minor 7 flat 5, but it's very easy to see. So here's the 7th, G sharp. There's G sharp minor 7. If you just take the 5th and lower it, that's the chord you get. That's the 7th chord of A major. So there's the 1, the 7th, the 6th, the 5th. Then you want to start mixing them up. So going from the different string sets. Yeah. Anyway, I hope that's helpful. If you want the slides for this, the diagrams and everything in PDF versions, check the description box of the video, and I'll send it to you. All right. There's an email in there. Just shoot me an email, and I'll do that. And if you like this kind of stuff and want to see me do more, consider subscribing and liking the video. And I really appreciate that. And have a great day.